Hi, I'm Grace M. Morris, the author of the Team Vergate series. And if you didn't notice, I'm sitting behind a ton of ruled books. But let me show you, ruled books are not so bad. See, if you pick up this S book, and you turn the pages, and you turn to Saturn, you can read all about Saturn, and see, this book is actually quite interesting. And Junior is here today, but you probably will not see him a lot for this video because he'll probably be sitting on my lap. So, today I'm going to do my January wrap-up, and I don't actually have any of the books with me because they're all library books and most of them are returned to the library right now. So, I also don't know how to get like an image of a book and put it on like one of the corners of the movie. I don't know if I don't want to go against copyright laws, and I don't know where to get the images for that, even if it's not going against copyright. So we're just going to go about the book covers, and they'll link all the books down below in the description box. So let's get on. So the first book I read is The Weaving by Tara Albrando, and I think that's how you pronounce her name, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, The Weaving is, I think, about 6 kindergarteners that were all of a sudden go missing. No, they're left without a trace, no one knows what happened to them, and it's like a total mess. Then like 11 years later, 5 of those kids, only 5 of them, come back. So this book was really interesting. It's not your typical like mystery thriller like stuff. So I mean there's stuff that goes on, but there isn't like a whole ton of like stuff going on. So this book has 3 point of views. This book is not your typical book. There's different formats for each of the point of views. You know, a normal book has a normal format, and this book is not like that. It has this really cool format. I really enjoyed the book, and I rate it a 4 out of 5 stars. So, it's pretty good. I don't think I mentioned this anywhere, but I've actually read 5 books in January, which is like really good for me. 5 books. 5 books. Yeah. So let's go on. The next book I read, the book is called Into the Wild, and it's the first book in the Warriors series, by Ern Hunter. And what this book is about, it's about these cats. I have a cat, like, down here. I don't know why he left my lap, but he's down there. So he's listening. So anyway, there's, in this, so it's kind of like, it's written in a modern, it's like in the modern world with a bunch of cats that are living out in the wild. And the main character, which he keeps changing his name throughout the book. He changed his name like 3 times in this book, and it's not really that long of a book. Anyway, there's this character, I'm just going to call him the character because there's only one point of view, you'll figure it out. There's this character that leaves his modern home to go live into ThunderClan, which they kind of invited him in to become a warrior. Warrior in training, and and he's like, trying to become a lawyer. So that's pretty much what the book is about. I really enjoyed it, though I thought that it could have had something more going on in the beginning. I thought it kind of dragged in the beginning. Very much we got to see him training, like, through, like, several chapters of the book. And then there's, like, a whole ton of characters to keep track of. And I was having a really hard time keeping track of the characters at first because how many characters there is. But it really was interesting and stuff. I really liked it, and I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, and I probably will continue with the series and stuff, so we'll go see what happens with the series, and I'm hoping it's going to pick up because it was kind of picking up at the end, and now I kind of have to read it because they had a kind of a cliffhanger, and I hate cliffhangers, and I hate like starting a series and not finishing a series, so I'm going to go finish the series. Okay, the cat is behind me doing something. Checking out the books. Okay. Hi. Hi, kitty. Okay. It's kind of scaring me. Okay. Anyway, the next book that I read is... What are you doing? Hi. Okay, this is... Come on. You jump. Careful. There you go. Okay. Cat is sitting down. Okay, so the third book that I read, was a book I read for work. I'm reading a bunch of books for researching this particular book I'm going to write. It's not the book I'm currently writing, for the books I'm currently writing, but it's going to be a book I'm writing pretty soon. Okay, so the third book that I read is Physics of the Impossible, a scientific exploration into the world of phasers, force fields, teleportation, and time travel by Machaco Kaku. Oh, I don't know if I'm doing that right. I don't know. I hope I pronounce it right, and I really do not want to pronounce authors' names wrong, but I know it happens. So anyway, what he does in the book is he takes things in sci-fi, like, for instance, teleportation. That's been used in sci-fi all the time. I mean, we use teleportation in sci-fi all the time, and that's something that's, extremely interesting. So he takes teleportation and he explains how we could do teleportation and how people has been working on teleportation. Junior! I'm thinking... Okay, I know you see a box. Hello? Okay, I'm getting up for a minute because he found a box. I'm going to be editing this video. Well, here's the cat. Here's the cat. You found a box and interrupting my YouTube videos. This is hilarious. Yeah. I think he's happy now. So anyway, where were we? Yes, Palpitation. So he takes something like Palpitation from sci-fi, which is really, so Palpitation is just something that's proper. So he takes something like Palpitation, and he explains how it could be possible to make something for Palpitation in the future, or even right now. I mean, he talks about how we're like working on those projects now and how far we've gotten and the history of it, and he goes into pretty good detail in my mind, and I could understand it pretty well, so I really enjoyed it. I didn't agree with every point he made and everything that was talked about. I rated it 4 out of 5 stars, which apparently I'm rating most of my books this time 4 out of 5 stars. So the fourth book that I read is Cress, which is the third book in the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. To me, or one person recommended it to me. But anyway, I didn't really like Cinder, and as for Scarlet, I kind of like Scarlet, but I actually liked it a whole lot better than Cinder. People say that it gets better as it goes on, and they were right. Scarlet was quite a bit better. So, anyway, I did end up reading Cress, and it was a lot longer than the other 2 books, which I'm actually was great at. I actually really loved Cress. It was actually one of my favorite books that I read so far this year, and it was my favorite book in the series. Basically, Cress is a fairy tale retelling of Rapunzel. Enjoyable read. I'm actually currently reading. Winter now. Oh, the cat. The cat jumped on my lap. I'm actually currently now reading Winter, and which I'm not finished yet, but I'm really enjoying that too. So anyway, I rated Cress 5 out of 5 stars. My only 5 out of 5 stars in January. So the last book, which I don't know why it was the 5th book that I read. It should have been the 4th book I read, because it was for a Divergent collection by Veronica Roth. So, basically what this book is it's retelling Divergent in Four's perspective. But it wasn't really, that's kind of how I put it. But anyway, the first book actually takes place before Divergent, and then the other books are kind of getting more into, I can't remember where the second book would come in, but the first couple ones came in kind of before Divergent, and we kind of would go into Divergent, and then it kind of redid the scenes in Four's perspective. It was really interesting, though it was kind of repetitive. I thought that it was repeating Triss's story. So I want to thank everyone that's liked, comment, or subscribed to my videos, because that was really cool, and I really enjoyed getting to know you and looking at your guys' videos. And if you're new or old, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and I have my social media stuff linked down below. Go ahead and check me out. And read Near the Stars as close as you can. Goodbye.